Hello, welcome everybody. Yes, there is me again. Right, okay. Let's have a look. Right, there's nobody in the chat right now, so I'm just going to get set up ready. So give me a minute. Aha, Craig. Hello, welcome, my friend. How are you? I was just thinking about you today, actually. You've been very quiet just lately. I've seen your pictures from your holidays in Blackpool again. Oh God, everyone's coming in now. Hello, Chris. How are you? Hello, Andy. How are you? Oh, sorry, Andy. Um, Let me just click on that. Oh no, I don't want that. Click on that one. Bear with me a moment, people. I'm just playing around with settings again. No, go off that. Right, hang on a minute. Oh my word, David. Hello, how are you, my friend? Smallwood Junction, hello. Smallwood Junction, just remind me what your name is because I have genuinely forgot. Okay, sorry, Craig. I'm just playing around again. Um, hmm, how do I do that? Da, 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 no, don't want that. Right, okay. It would be nice for me to actually have other people join in as moderators, but I've seemed to have forgotten how to do it. So just bear with me a second while I'm prattling around. It's not that one. It's not that one. Let's have a look. No, no. Ewan, hello. Oh, sorry, Smallwood. Paul. Paul. Right, I will remember that because I'm going to write it down. Right, Smallwood is Paul. Right, I will try and remember that. Oh God, writing things down and making the table wobble. I think I have. Oh, Peter. Hello, Peter. How are you? How are you, my friend? Have I missed anybody else? No. I'd love to make you all moderators, but I've forgotten how to do it. I'm going to try this one. Hang on a minute. No, no, it's not that. Ah, how do I do that? Don't know. Steve, hello, Steve. How are you? Right, okay. I might as well start. Right, okay. Ow, that was my arm. Right, okie dokie. I hope you are all well. Everyone is all still saying hello to one another at the moment. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some bits and pieces that I've had today from the Craven Arms Model Railway. Hang on, it's a bit of a mouthful. It's the Craven Arms District Model Railway. Something. It is a bit of a mouthful. But anyway, I was there today at their show in Ludlow at the showground, and was kind of hoping to meet Timber Surf there, but sadly, we've crossed paths in the wind again. Well, got me coffee, so I'm doing well today. Oh, coffee cup of choice, by the way, is this one today. Yeah, I'm going to start a bit of a theme here because I've got quite a fair few mugs. So that's today's mug, as well as this one. Okay, right then. Oh, Mick's just joined the chat. Hello, Mick. How are you? Bars open. And hot dog pilot, and he's just said he thinks he might have been in disguise. He might have been, because I don't know what he looks like. I I, I could have walked straight past him and I wouldn't have known. I know he was in the area with his wife today, and he did say that he would pop in. But I think I left shortly before midday, so I wasn't able to hang around long enough for him to turn up if he did. Um, the shelves. Oh, these shelves. Have you not seen those, Peter? I put those up just before the last stream. Bit of a different view today. Normally I'm over there, but I'm over here today. So yeah, you can see the shelves. I've still got. Hang on, camera's backwards. I've still got a little bit to put in on the top there. There's a small little piece to put in, but I'll get round to it eventually. Right, yeah. So I've been to the show and I've come away with some bargains. And boy, were they bargains. Right. Well, first things first, I went to I've been to one stall and I very nearly called him the nickname that me and my friend have given him. It's a nice nickname, but it's a joke just between us two. So I've been to Baz's Model Rail, and he had a stall there. So what I've done is I picked up a couple of 1mm drill bits off him. I normally buy my drill bits off him because they are pretty good from there. But I have snapped a few with the track that I've been putting down just lately. So I've bought some more for spares for just in case. I am keeping an eye on the chat. Be back in a bit, packing up. Oh, Craig's going back home to Newcastle. Also, while I was at Baz's Model Rail, I also bought a couple more PM2 motors. So I think I might have enough now to finish off one bit over there and start the next bit, which I'll show you in a bit. Right, so I mean, they weren't really particular bargains. These are priced at what they're normally priced at, which is a fiver each, and the drill bits are £1 each. So, well, they come in packs of two at £2, and I bought 2 packets. So that's those. And then from the Craven Arms Model Railway Club, they had their own stand as well. And I went round their stand and look at bits and pieces. And the stand next door to them, their name I can't remember who it was now, but they were selling everything on the table for between £5 and £1. Sorry, but between £1 and £5. Got it back to front. I honestly couldn't believe what they had on their table. If I had DCC, I could have bought a controller. They had a Digitrax controller on there, and they were selling it for £5. It was like, what? Didn't buy it because I didn't need it. But I couldn't believe it. Um, so yeah, so I went and hammered rummage around on their table, and this is what I bought: a Train Tech sound. I suppose you want to call it a decoder. I know it's not a decoder, but it is battery operated sound for DC locomotives. Bought that for a fiver. Brand new in the pack, hasn't even been opened. So we might actually have a look at that today. We'll see how we do for time. So keep sucking at eight a bounty here, and I've got a coconut stuck in my teeth. And there's one down here that's driving me mad. Yeah, you can still get bargains if you look for them, but Pete, there is more. There is more. Just like Jimmy Cricket used to say, "Come here, there's more." I bought another Pico turntable, as is, like that, £5. Can't believe it. So I know where I'm going to put this, and dare I say it, the microwave turntable is going to go in the bin. I know, it's going to go in the bin. I've proved my point with it. I know it could work, but this is much better. So I bought another one of these. I've already got one in Finchester Works, and this one is going to go up here with other bits and pieces. Also, it didn't come with it sadly, but for another fiver, I bought all the gubbins that go with it, and I've got a motor. Now I know these are extremely noisy, very, very noisy, but I don't necessarily have to have it electrically operated, but we'll see. So anyway, so for a tenner, I bought, with motor included, a Pico turntable. You can't say fairer than that, can you? Right. Not finished. What else we got? I got some tunnels. I got those. These two tunnels and this one cost me about £7. I bought that Royal Mail coach. Now there is something wrong with this. I'd love a turntable, but no room. Yeah, they are quite big, but you know, I do understand that room can be a bit of an issue sometimes. Now, I haven't had this out the box yet, but I do know there was one big issue with it, and that is it has no wheels. That's it. I bought that for a fiver, and they've actually got some spare wheels up there to put on it. So, but I thought, you know, that's not too bad for a fiver. Whether that is the original box that it came in or not is I don't know. It doesn't say Royal Mail on it, so probably more than likely not. So yeah, slowly but surely, I have been making up a parcels train, and this coach here will be added to it once I've put some wheels on it. Let's squeeze that back into its box. So yeah, so I bought that for a fiver. Before we get to the best bit, I bought these as well. 4 cars, £10. I bought Morris Minor convertible with the roof up. I bought this, which is, oh, what is it? It is, hang on, a Morris 8 Tourer. Got that. And I've also bought an MGTC as well. Bought that. Very nice. Oh, and also I bought an Austin A40 Farina, I think they pronounced one of those. Yeah, and this one is a Bachmann one. The other ones are all Oxford die-cast. But yeah, I thought for £10 for the four, that is not too bad at all. And all run on DC, of course. We're all big DC lovers here, aren't we, Peter? Well, most of us are anyway. What else was there? I got those. Oh yes, I have bought another locomotive. I said I wouldn't, but it cost a fiver. So we're going to try it here today and see whether it actually works or not. But there was an exhibition at there was an exhibition layout there, and they were selling off a load of stuff. Everything must go today. They did not want to take anything back home with them. I found this in a box, and I said, "Would you take five for it?" And they went, "Yeah, okay." And I bought a Hymic, class 35. It is the old Hornby one. So it has the old two-wheel drive motor in it. If it works, great. If not, then I've got some spare parts. I think I can probably get it running. But I do know that when these have been serviced and they're running really, really well, they do run very smoothly. This one also has the pickups in the front pony as well, so bogie rather. So hopefully this is going to work. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to put him on the test track here, and I'm going to see if he moves. So, what do you all reckon? Do you reckon it's going to move or not? Put in the comments now what you reckon's going to happen before I turn the power on, while I put it on the track. Now, I haven't tested this yet, so anything can happen. It might go up in flames or what, I don't know. And the only thing that's missing on it is the glazing out the one side. So, oh, Craig's back. Hello, Craig. Chris says it'll run. I don't know whether it's going to run or not. I genuinely don't. I literally bought it today, and here we go. £5 challenge accepted. Right. So, is it going to run? Have I got power on? I think power was on. Hang on. What's that amber light now? Pass. I don't know. Bang, said Mick. Right, hang on. Let me turn the camera around a bit for you so you can see. So here's the Hymic. It's on the track ready. Got a controller in my hand. So let's see what happens. Oh, it moves. Oh, come on. You moved then. Bit more juice. Oh, no. You did see that, didn't you? You did see it move. Oh, crumbs. She just wants warming up. Come on, you. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's cool, that is. I think she just wants a good clean, I think. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There you go. There's proof you can buy a locomotive for £5 and it works. Told you be positive. Thanks, Pete. 50-50 said Craig. Oh, there you go. It works. I'm properly chuffed with that. I can't believe I bought it for a fiver and it actually works. I genuinely thought I'd be stripping this down. I've even got tools here ready and waiting for just in case. But yeah, she does need a good clean. The wheels are a little bit on the grubby side, which is probably why it was running like the way it was. Oh, hang on. I just noticed something on it. That's never any good. Hang on, where's the camera? The camera. Typical. The magnet has picked up a nail. We've fetched that out. So there we go. We've used the tool. Oh, I'd say I'm absolutely blown away by that. I can't believe that actually worked. So yeah, so that's another locomotive to add to the collection. Right, hang on a minute. So while we are in a sort of let's fix it sort of thing, uh, let's see what is my choice. I think is that going to be enough? Yeah, I think that's big enough. We'll use that. And I need something. What? I know. Hang on. Oh, let's try this. Oh, a chubby little terrier. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is my terrier. Right, let me just make sure it works first before I do anything else. Yes, it does. Okay, right. Right, just making sure everybody is here. Right, yeah, I did. Hang on a moment. That's it. Just answering a message from Mr. Surf. Right, okay, right. So we have the Train Tech SFX10 Steam Sound Capsule. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Right, so that's it. So does this work for a fiver? We will soon see. So let's rip him open. I've already had a look online. Well, I had a look on a YouTube video from Train Tech earlier to see whether this works or not. And well, see how it works. So let's rip him open and find out what we got. So it says all I've got to do is put the button battery in, and apparently there is a tube that I've got to connect to it. Oh, there's the tube. So there's all the bits. So it's stuck to the instructions. Get rid of all that tack there. Right, here's the instructions. Yeah. Don't need instructions, do we? Right, one battery. I'll pick all that up later. Right, so here it is. So that's what it is. As small as little as that, and I'm going to put it in this me fine fish wagon. So pull the top off. That should hopefully drop in there nicely. Yes, it does. Right, so One button battery. I'm assuming it goes that way. Oh, this is not bowing very well, is it? Hang on, go back out again. Let's try that way. It does go in that way. Guess what? The battery is flat. I don't know if you can hear this or not. You hear the ticking? So it's trying to work, but it can't because it doesn't have sufficient amount of voltage going through it. And those 3 volts, there's probably not many of them left. Let me just have a look, because sometimes there is a date on the batteries. Where's the other bit gone? The other bit's down there. Batteries normally have a date on them. So whether you can see that or not. Focus. Focus. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but it does actually say on here, best before 2023. So I think I can quite safely say the battery is completely flat. So there we go. So the idea of me putting this on the test track to see if it works is now going to be 0. So I need to go and buy a 2032 battery for it. I think I can live with that. So my £5 bargain has just been added by the fact I've just got to run buy some batteries for it. Well, anyway, right. So apparently I'm supposed to put the speaker inside this tube here, which is supposed to help amplify the sound, like so. So that's on there like that. And then I'll place him in the wagon. So he's in the wagon. And then when I get a chance to, I'll go and buy some batteries. And yeah, we'll see if it works. So I'll save that one for the next live stream. So I'll put him on there for now. There we go. I'm going to move him over there. There we go. Right. So what do you expect for a £5? So yeah, so the button battery is dead. Marvelous. Right then. So button battery bin. Okay. Right. And what else have we got here? Do you want a closer look at the cars that I bought? Poundland in the morning, Brian. Good idea. And hello. Right. Okay. Right. But yeah, Clive, good idea. Right. So so Clive's in the house. So I've always said hello to Clive. Collins Engage. Hello, Clive. Collins. Clive. Where did I get Clive from? So yeah, if your name is Colin, hello, Colin. Stuart. Stuart's in the building, and Joshua. Hello, Joshua. Anybody else that I've missed? No, no one else I've missed. You're all here. Yeah, I think I did, Peter. I really do genuinely think I did get some really good bargains there. Yeah, definitely. Right, so cars. Let's see now. 2 of these are Oxford die-cast. One is from Hornby, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it is a Oxford die-cast model. And that is, I can get them all out. Which one's the Hornby one? Oh, the Hornby one is the Morris Minor. Yeah, that's definitely an Oxford die-cast car. Right, so, excuse me. There we go. Oh, Simo D's in the house. Hello, Simon. There we go. So that is the Morris Minor. Then we have this one. I do have to keep looking. Not that one. Oh, the Morris 8. That's the Morris 8. Now, when I do put these on the layout, I'm going to be weathering these a bit to make them look a lot older. Because obviously, if you saw a Morris 8 in the 1980s, it was more than likely falling apart. So I think I might try and see if I can spray these in a matte varnish, matte lacquer, just to dull them down a little bit. So yeah, so that's the Morris 8. Then we've got the MGTC. I've worked on a few of these in the past. These are very nice cars in the flesh. These are. Yeah, that's the Morris 8. Sorry, the MGTC. Very nice car. And then we have the Austin A40 Arena. And this one is a Bachmann product. This one is. And as I've never had a Bachmann product one before, I don't know how it comes out the box. Right, so let's destroy the box then and get it out. There's probably an easier way of getting into the box in these, but I don't know how. And it looks like it just slides out. Okay. Okay, there we go. What does it say underneath there? This is Base Toys Limited. Bass, something like that. There we go. And that's the Austin A40. Another very, very nice car. But yeah, it was an unusual one, that one is. It's one that I've not seen before. So yeah, not bad at all, that. So I think there were some pretty good bargains there. And as you can probably imagine, I don't keep the packaging for these. So those will go in the bin. These will be saved because these are always very useful. Yeah, that Hornby one is definitely not for diecast because it's in the same packaging. Definitely need cars for my Stuart, you're loaded with your job. Yes, just some danger money. Especially in the London Underground. Have I missed anything else? Peter says, go rule one, Brian. Can put whatever you like on them. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, the thing is, right, is when I do buy some brand new Oxford die-cast models because I just think they're just fantastic models. They really are. But for what I pay for them, I mean, it isn't a great deal of money. But when you're talking like nearly £5-6 per model, I feel very reluctant to do anything with them. It's like all my other models that I buy, my trains and everything. I don't I can't with them because I just don't know how to. But I'll play around with them. But I'd love to be able to build like a scrapyard of sorts. But I don't want to turn these into scrap cars. Mm, coffee's going cold now. But yeah, I do like these. They're very nice, especially this Bachmann Scenecraft one. I've not owned anything like that before. It's not a bad looking model. Yeah, so I might look out for some more of those in the future. There we go. So I've got another 4 cards to add to my collection now. Any test trains are on 100k before deductions. They do overtime. Oh dear. Stuart's on him own. It says that they are, Craig. It does say that they are. Yeah, it does say 176 scale on the box. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but yeah, it does say 176 on the box. It's by their Scene Craft range. Okie dokie. Right then. So, what's going on now? But with the vast money, I would still worry about going to an exhibition. You've got to be careful. You know, most of the stuff that I buy from exhibitions is mostly from club stands. But you've still got to be very careful what you buy from club stands. Um, you know, don't get me wrong, an awful lot of their stuff is very cheap. Um, most of that reason is because of the fact that a lot of their stuff is donated to them, so they can't sell anything at retail price. Um, but there is a lot of stuff that you do buy from these exhibitions that do sound very cheap, and it turns out that they've got blown motors in them or something else like that. Um, and it is sold as seen as well when you do buy these things. So you do take a little bit of a risk when you do buy from club stands. But you know, if you're like myself and you're reasonably good at, I'm not saying I'm not, I am no good. But if you if you if you're clever enough with a screwdriver and you sort of know your way around electrics and stuff like that, then generally speaking, you can probably fix these things on your own. But if you're relying on other people like model shops and stuff to repair the models for you, and there's nothing wrong in that at all, the price does start to go up then. And then you start thinking, well, you know, I've bought this for a fiver, it's cost me 15 quid to repair it. It's still not a perfect model, you know, then you're saying, yeah, okay, maybe I should spend a bit more money um, on something from a model shop, maybe, um, or from a reputable dealer, um, uh, likes of like Dave Angel Trains, for instance. He tests and services all of his models. So you know that you are actually buying a good locomotive from him when you do buy them. Um, I use him all the time. I even work with him occasionally as well, so I'm a little bit on the biased side, I suppose, if in a way. But there are other people out there that do exactly the same. But if there are, I don't know of them. But Dave Angel, I know for sure, does test and service all of his locomotives. And if you do have any issues with anything you do buy from him, there is a bit of comeback on them. You know, you can send them back to him, see if he can try and fix them, or you can have your money back. Um, you know, and when you've got people like that, you tend to stick with them because you know that they look after you, as he does with me. But anyway, finish plugging him now. Sort of. Next week, next Saturday, there is a model exhibition at Shrewsbury. I don't know if any of you are able to attend or not. I know some of you are localish to me. But yeah, there is a model show at Shrewsbury next week. I will be working with Dave Angel Trains on that day. So if you do pop along, just come and say hello. But just bear in mind I am working, so I can't stop and talk for too long. And if you do stop me, you've got to buy something. um, yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right there, Pete. Toy fairs, you do get some really good bargains from toy fairs. But again, you've got to be really careful with what you're buying. Exhibitions are good because you can buy locomotives from your exhibitions, and sometimes some people have means of being able to test them for you. Um, I know that was the case with Worley last year. Some of their demonstration stands that they had on there. Um, if you did buy anything and you wanted to test it before you took it home, they would test it for you, which was great because if it didn't work, you could take it back to the seller. Um, Too far for me. Yeah, yeah, it's a shame, Peter, because I'd love to meet you. Um, as of right now, there stands a good chance that I'm going to the Great Electric Train Show this year. But the jury's still out on that one at the moment. Um, there's a good possibility that I've organised a lift to get there. Um, so I will know more closer to the time, and if I know for sure I'm going, then I will buy the tickets then. I don't want to buy tickets yet, just in case it falls through. Um, so yeah, fingers crossed. I'm going to that show. But if you can come to the Shrewsbury show this year, it's at St Mary's Church. And if anybody knows Shrewsbury, it's at the top of Castle Street. Um, you've got Salopian models halfway up that hill. So from the train station, if you're coming by train, you just go walk straight up the hill from the train station, past Salopian. You'll go around a sharp left-hand corner, and the church is right in front of you. It's dead easy to get to from the train station. A little bit more of a mission if you're going by car and you've got to park nearby. But yeah, if you can, great. If not, then I'll try and see if I can film a little bit for you. I did film a little bit from today's show, which wasn't a great deal, and I did post it earlier. It was about 3.5 minute, I think it was, video. Um, but yeah, so that's that one, right? What else we got? Uh, Funny if it's timber surf and it pulls up in a hearse. Lol. I'll bring the wedding cake. Ah, right. Okay, yeah. Normal funeral and wedding services are not on that day. But allegedly, it's a very nice church and a very big one too. There's going to be an awful lot of exhibitions there, a few trade stands. Don't don't hold me to it, but I believe WWS is going to be there as well. I'm not sure. I know Dan at Tunnel Lane, he's going to be there doing some. He's got a demonstration stand on painting models. So I'll definitely be watching him if I get time. Okay. Um, there isn't really a great deal to show you on the layout, but do you want to have a look and see what I've done? But there isn't really a great deal. Your lift tickets. Oh, I see. Got you. I'm with you now. Um, no, Andy. No, it's a friend of mine that's picking me up. Um, but uh, but yeah. Oh, have you not, Stuart? I thought you had. Oh, right, okay. Okay, let me just move that lamp out the way a little bit. Right, so you want to have a look. I am sorry, but Finnerton Central is a bit of a mess right now. That's mostly because all the goodies that I bought today have cooked me sat on top of it. Oh dear. Um, no, it's absolutely fine. I'm sure everybody else won't mind. But yeah, if anybody ever wants to have a tour around the layout, just ask. Um, Let me just move that out of the way. I've still got stuff placed all over the place on this layout at the moment, so you can sort of get the gist of what I'm trying to achieve. So let me just unplug the camera. I've got him plugged in just in case the battery runs flat. Right, so I'm assuming you can all hear me all right. So let's see. Now then, I'm going to start you over here. So let's move the bench out the way. Right, okie dokie. Right, so we come over here. Right, okay, so currently there are two train stations on my layout. There's Fillerton Central, which is this mess here. Okay, we've got Fillerton Central here. Fillerton Central comprises of three platforms, okay, all of which are going to be encased within a canopy at some point or another in the near future. I've been playing with these. You may recognise them. These are the old platform stamps that you used to buy from Hornby. I quite like these ones because these are the metal ones. The later ones were just green plastic. So I'm thinking of using them. Oh, and they have like a round, if you just see just above my finger there, there is a round base there. That fits perfectly. It is a bit of a snug fit, but it does fit absolutely perfectly in a McDonald's straw, like so. And the idea is eventually I'm going to have a row of these on the platform, stood like that. And these are going to be used to span the roof across from the retaining wall, which is over here, over to the front of the station, which is over here. Okay. Now, a lot of you probably haven't seen the back of the station. It's still a work in progress right now. I tell you what, hang on. Let me take you off the stand. There we go, and you can see it a little bit better then. Right. So here we go. So these McDonald's straws, obviously this one's been cut down because I've been playing with it. But the idea is I want to put these in the middle of the platform like that, and then the roof structure is going to span across the top of these at some point or another. But I'm still toying with the idea at the moment. The idea is I want triangular roof sections to span across all the way down from, where are we? From this point here all the way over to that point over there. So the roof section is going to cover the entirety of the middle platform at some point or another. And then over here, this is going to be the front of the platform station. So that's one shop there that I've put in. And then you've got the main part of the station here. And then you've got the add-ons on the ends that I've done. There's another shop front there. They're going to be the shops at the front of the station. And what I would like to be able to do is put a couple of cash machines in here. But I'm trying to see if I can try and find some 80s style um, 80s style cash machines to go in there. And then over on this blank wall here, I'm thinking of perhaps maybe putting uh, some pictures on the wall there, maybe, or something of sort, or a banner. I'm not, a big poster maybe. I'm not really too sure what to do with that. Better built than a Burger King straw. I wouldn't know, Peter. Burger King's too expensive for me. So yeah, so that's the sort of general idea of what I'm going to be doing with Finnerton Central. Then you've all seen this lift out section here that currently doesn't lift out because I've put track on it. So we've got the track joiner here. I've still got to cut across that. And then over here, I've got to do the same at this join here as well. So once I've cut those, I can then lift this piece out again. And that's currently held in by magnets at both ends. So following the track round, we come over to, and I've had a bit of a tidy up, but this is the makings of a new station here. You'll have to excuse the light. The light is quite poor in this room, which I've still yet to fix. But yeah, this is Finton Parkway. I'm not sure whether anybody can actually remember the old Finton Parkway. Oh, Jake's in the house. If I look on it. Yeah, it is. Hello, Jake. How are you? So yeah, so we're going to start here from the bridge. This is the bridge here, which has now got track on it. We didn't have track on it last month. But yeah, the track is now laid on that bridge there. But I've still yet to fix the bridging properly. So the idea here is there's going to be a tunnel here once it's cut properly, and there's going to be a tunnel at the other end here as well, and then round here, coming back on myself again. So what I'm going to do here is I've cut the top section back here, so there's going to be a wall across the back of the track here. It's going to be like a rocky face on the front, and I'm going to be building it up and over the back. So this is all going to be a hilly area at the back here, and there's going to be a viaduct across the bottom here. That's what all these are for here. All those are going to be covered up in the red brick Metcalf kit. So we're going to have a viaduct across the bottom, and we're going to have a hillside across the back. And then this piece here is going to be completely covered up. And there will be sections I'm going to be cutting out of it so I can get access to it in the event of a derailment. So then we've got the bridge here, which has now got track on. This is all going to be a hill area at the back here as well, so you won't see any of the track that's at the back here. This is Finton Parkway. Finton Parkway has been configured sort of like how the old one was, except this time it's got a double track rather than a single track. So we're going to have a station building here, got the main station house here. We've also got the let me put you around this way, just bear with me a minute, mind my hand. So there's the station there. There's going to be a terminus track here as well. Signal box is going to be at the end of the platform here. And also over here, I'm going to be putting in a roadway here. So I don't know whether you can see or not, but I've been bending bits of old track here, which are going to sit in there like that, and then I'll just cover the gaps in between with plaster, and just make this all into a road. So the road is going to come all the way across those 3 tracks there. So there's going to be a tunnel here, which obviously you won't see into. So the road will end there at the tunnel there. And then all this area here is all going to be a hillside area there. And then over here, there's going to be another tunnel here where the train will come back out into this area here. You'll also notice here that there is going to be a disused track area on the one side of the branch line. And that follows the track halfway around the layout. So coming around here, so that's the old track there. That's going to be a disused section. This is the actual main part here that's going to be running around here. And if you can imagine, this is going to be a ravine. So you're going to have a scenic area here and here as well. So from the front here, you won't see any of this here at all. This will all be covered up. So if I put a cube camera, I know I've got one knocking around somewhere, I know, because I used to use it. I'm going to put a cube camera on here so you can actually see the scenic area all the way around here. In addition to what's new, is all the track is now fitted on the top section, all the way around, back up to the top by the door there. And again, this is all disused here. And then the main track is at the back, going all the way around. I wish I had longer arms. All the way around here. And this is where the disused section ends. There's going to be a double track tunnel here. That's going to sit there. And then this track here is going to end there. And then the single track here will then go into the tunnel and disappear off scene there. And then you won't see, and then the train's going to come around here, disappear off scene here, and then it'll reappear over at the bridge at the other end. So all of that top section there, you won't see at all. And the only bit you will see is the viaduct across the bottom. So that's generally the problem. That's generally the idea there. We've got somebody else here now called Mysterious Mechanic 24. Hello to you. So yeah, so that's basic view of the layout at the moment. I mean, we've all seen Finchester Works. That hasn't changed at all since the last time I was practicing around with it. Oh, get me bench back out again. Oh, me stool. Hang on, where's me? Hang on, grab me my phone stand. Right, about 18 months' work. Hang on, let me have a look at the chat. All right, stick that all in there. Plug that in there. There we go. Right, so everyone's all plugged back in again now. Oh, right. Okay, so let's have a look at the chat again. Ships and right, yeah. Right, okay. Let's just go back through the chat again for a second. Oh, Andy didn't say hi. Hit the likes, peeps. Yes, please, Jake. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, yeah, if any of you want to hit the like button, then please hit it gently. Don't break the screen. Uh, Pete's asking Jake. Oh yeah, okay. 18 months work. Is that to me? Is it Andy? Um, I think it has been about 18 months since I started building this. Love the 3 levels. Yeah, it gives it a little bit of a point of interest, to be honest with you. Um, it'll look it's sometimes it's really hard to try and explain what's going on because trying to explain what I've got in my head can be very difficult sometimes. Excuse me. Stuart is very jealous of 3 levels. um yeah, the top level is going to be a branch line sort of set in the countryside. So where you see the track running around, the embankment is going to be sort of like that at both ends, um, which is great. But at the front, where I'm looking at it from now, you won't see any of it unless, of course, you look down from above. Um, but how I'm going to disguise that from the front with the rest of the scenery in front of it, I'm not too sure right now. Um, I suppose the idea will come to me as I'm starting to build it. Um, the only thing I can think of really is if I'm doing any filming of the layout as it's running, is to just crop the top so that you can't see what's going on above Finnerton Central, so to speak. Um, so the scenic break on Finnerton Central is going to be just above the roof. I think that's how I'm sort of swaying towards right now. Um, so yeah, it's all piecing together slowly, but it's very hard to try and show you what my visualization is without boring you to death. Right, okay. All above my head, Brian Law. It's all going to be above my head as well soon. Um, Getting shorter by the day. I'll get a stall for you. Somebody once reminded me that the landscape and hills were before the railway. I always try to build it like that. Yeah, yeah, I can see what you're saying there. And not boring, great ideas. Yeah, yeah, ideas is one thing, but trying to actually put it into practice is another. Um, but yeah, you are right. The railways were built into the landscape. The landscape wasn't built around the railways. So this is one of the reasons why I've got like a multi-level layout, is so that I can achieve that. Um, so yeah, the top section that goes round by the window over on the, where are we now? On the east side of the layout. So east, west, north, south. So Vinton Parkway is on the south side, Finnerton Central is on the north side, if you want to think about it that way. Um, so yeah, so everything on the east side of the layout, um, behind Finchester Works, is not going to be seen at all. That's all going to be completely covered up there. Um, oh, Ben's in the house. Hello, Ben. And um, everything on the west side above the viaduct is also going to be covered up as well. So although at the moment you can see plenty of track, when I'm finished, you're not going to see a lot of it. So that's sort of where I'm going. But as of now, all the track is now laid. I've done it. I've finished it. The track on the top section is laid. It's been cleaned ready. all I've got to do is just connect wires to it and get power running to it. But I've got a lot of work to do before I do that. I've got isolation switches to put into Finton Parkway, for the platform tracks. There's going to be isolation switches in those. So the idea is trains coming from the bottom level are going to go to the top level via controller number 3. And then when it gets to Finton Parkway, all trains from that point onwards is going to be on controller number 4. So that'll be a continuous loop all the way around on the top section. Oh, Mark's in the house. Hello, Mark. And yeah, basically that's it really. So bottom level is controllers 1 and 2. Up to Finton Parkway is controller number 3, and the loop around the top is going to be controller number 4. So once I've got all that sorted out, then I can start trying to work out where all the switches are all going to go. Because I've sort of backed myself into a corner here, and I've realised that the way I've built my layout is so that 2 people can run the layout, not one person on their own. I've done this by accident. Didn't mean to do it. It's just how it has happened. I think it's because mostly at the time I was trying to build the layout without it costing me anything at all. So all the wiring on the base level was all completely free. I was able to get hold of a load of wiring for nothing. So this is why I've got isolation switches and point switches in all 4 corners of the layout. So there's a control panel over here, there's one over there, there's one there, and there's one over there. Right next to the controllers. So if you can imagine it, you're stood over there at the controllers there. You can operate that switch from there, that switch panel there. You can also operate that switch panel there. And the 2 behind the camera, of course, as your trains are running around, you've got to go from one side of the layout to the other to control them. So unless, of course, you're running your trains really slow, you're going to be running backwards and forwards across the layout, trying to run it on your own. So I may possibly reconfigure that later on so that I can run it on my own, properly, at least anyway, because I'd love to be able to do some running sessions on the layout. But with all the building and everything that's going on the layout right now, I just haven't been able to do anything. I mean, the bottom layer is functional, it's working, but the east side of Finnerton Central has still got all its point motors to be fitted. The holes are all there ready. I've just got to put the motors in and screw it up and connect them to switches. You know, I've got 5 points to connect up over there. I've got 4 ready to go in. The wires are all here ready. Which is why I bought more today, so that I can connect them all up. Now, Stuart, I'm going to try and explain this to you as quickly as I possibly can without being too technical and too long-winded. So I'm going to open one of these up for you now, just to explain to you how it is that this type of point motor works. Now, one of the things that I do like about Gauge Master point motors, not only is it because they're cheap, although that has got mostly to do with it, but on the underside of those, you've got different connections there, and all the connections are labeled from A to F. Now, on PM2s all you need to worry about is A, B, and C. That's it. Nothing else. So A is your power switch to the one side. B is your power switch to the other side. And C is your earth cable to the end. So there's 3 wires coming off it. C is for earth. A is power one way. B is power the other way. Okay? So it's just 3 wires. Your 2 power wires go directly to your switch. Your switch has got 3 poles on it. So you connect A to the one side of the switch, B to the other side of the switch. You then connect C to your capacitor discharge unit. Okay? The power from your capacitor discharge unit goes to your middle connection on your switch. So that when you flick the switch, power comes into the switch from your capacitor discharge unit and then is thrown to the one side here or the other side there. But you have to use momentary switches. Bear with me, I have some here somewhere. So, Stuart, if you have a look at these here, these are the switches that I use. Momentary means flick it that way, it flicks back to the middle. What you don't want is a switch that flicks one way or the other. That will burn out your motors. These ones don't. Now, the reason why you have to have a capacitor discharge unit is because when you throw the switches the one way, if you don't have a capacitor discharge unit, you'll get a buzz from your points. So every time you throw the point, it'll buzz every time. Now, the reason for that is because it's still supplying power to the point motor after it's already thrown. The reason why you have a capacitor discharge unit is it sends a pulse of power to it very quickly. So therefore, you don't have any buzzing coming from the point motor when you throw it. Okay? So we'll use green. You've got green, red, and yellow there. Green goes to A. Doesn't have to, I'm just using this as a reference, okay? Green goes to A, red goes to B, and the yellow one here goes to the power side of your capacitor discharge unit, okay? And then on your point motor, A goes to your switch, B goes to your switch, and C goes to your capacitor discharge unit, which is your earth, okay? That's it. It's as simple as that. I don't think I can make it any more simple. Okay? So if you've got any problems, Stuart, you're in the group chat. Well, you're in the Finland Central group on Facebook. And I know you've already asked this question already. If you get any problems, just put a message out on there and one of us will try and point you in the right direction. That's a good question. Yeah, how many points can be thrown off a capacitor discharge unit? It all depends on how you've wired it up. That is something else completely different. That's the basic way of how you wire your points. Now, you can wire it in such a way, and this is where it gets a little bit complicated, where if you flick one switch, that switch, if wired in the right way, can throw all the points that you need to that one direction you want to go in. So if you want a train to come out of, say, siding number 1 and you want it to go into platform number 2, you flick one switch and it will throw all your points in the right direction to get you to that destination. That's where it gets a little bit more difficult. But baby steps. Okay, so if you do it how I've told you how to wire it, you shouldn't get any issues. Now, to answer your question, discharge units vary. You can buy some really cheap ones which can throw up to 2 points at any one time. Or you can buy what I've bought, which is the Cobalt CDU2, which was very highly recommended from Jason at Barnabas Junction. And off the back of that, Mark Donegal Dad, he also bought one off my recommendation as well. And you can buy these from DCC Concepts, but don't be confused because these do work on DC as well as DCC. So just because you've had to buy it from DCC Concepts doesn't mean it only runs on DCC. It doesn't. It can run on both. But anyway, mine cost me at the time, I think it was about £35. And if you connect it up to the booster, there's two different ways in which you can wire them up. Again, that gets a little bit too complicated. But the way I've wired mine is, I think they say, and don't hold me to this, but they say that apparently it can throw about 12 points at any one time, possibly more. But like I say, it depends on how you wire it up. If you wire it how I've told you how to wire it up today, you can just go and buy a simple, cheap CD capacity discharge unit, which is CDU for short. You can go and buy a cheap one, and that will throw 2 points. So you've got two hands, you flick two switches at the same time, it'll throw two switches, or four, whichever way you've done it. But yeah, that's the basic way of doing it. It does get a little bit more complicated if you want to throw more than 1 point at any one time on the same switch. I think the best person that's ever described that was, if I can remember his name, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I think his name is it becomes a J. I like to say, do you know what? No, it's a complete blank. But if you look at Station Road, the channel Station Road, look at that. His name, it's bugging me now. I think it's Julian. I think his name is Julian. Yeah, it's Julian, it is. Station Road, he is from New Zealand. And he did an episode wiring pointer motors. And he did it in a little bit more complicated way, but he explains it very simply so you can understand it. But hopefully I've answered your question. You've written it down. Good man. Well done. Right. So what else has been going on in the chat while I've been blabbering? Oh, somebody's gone. Oh, yeah. Dinner is very important, Mark. Take care for now, my friend. Yeah, Pete uses the same. Andy says mine's 15 to 20 points. I recognise Cobalt. I've been looking at them. Yeah. They are honestly very. It's a very good brand. There are other brands, but I can only go by that one because that's the only one I've ever used. Right, okay, I think I've caught up on the chat now. Only have a max of 2 firing at once. Yeah, I mean, the way I've explained it, Stuart, is if you want to throw 2 points at the same time, so if you've got 2 points connected to one another, one running, so you've got two main lines and you've got 2 points connecting both together. What you can do is if you connect the A and B together, So effectively, you're daisy chaining one point to another. So A goes to A on the other one, B goes to B on the other one, and then from there it then goes to the switch and the capacitor discharge unit. When you throw one switch, it'll throw two of these at the same time. It also saves on cost as well. So if you've got 2 points connected together and you need to throw both of them at the same time, it makes sense to connect them both together and run them all off the same switch. Yeah, well, I mean, Stuart's layout, Andy, is DC, and I think he is using infrafrog points. Stuart, please correct me if I'm wrong. If you are using electrofrog points, it is a little bit more difficult. Well, saying it's difficult, it isn't. It's wired up exactly the same. The only difference being is you've got to put insulated fish plates in between the frog. Let me see if I can try and find a point from somewhere. Hang on a minute. I've got some in my top drawer here, I think. No, it's not in the top drawer. That's on the train spares up there. Second, third, actually got points. Right. That's perfect. Okay. Right, so insulated frog points. Insulated ones are quite simple. It's got a piece of plastic in the middle there. That is your insulated frog. If you've got electro frog, the steel point here goes all the way down to the middle and all the way back up the other end. Okay. And that little V there in the middle, that's what's known as your frog. Okay. They aren't electro frog as my OH stores quite happily over them. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. You will get that. You will get that. A lot of 040s, 060s, you'll get that. But that's just simply because of how it's wired up. You can't avoid that, sadly, unless, of course, you get the momentum going quickly enough for it to go over without it stuttering. I have to admit it, Pico points are better for that than Hornby ones because the frog, the insulated bit here, is far shorter on a Pico point than it is on a Hornby one. So it does help. The only problem with the Pico ones is if you've got wide flanges on your wheels, like on very old locomotives, like the Heimlich that I've just bought today, the wheels and those are very wide. They tend to short on the points there. But what you do is you add plastic insulated frog points, sorry, insulated fish plates to that point there and that point there. That's it. Okay. That way then, when you do throw the point in the other direction, the power goes from one side to the other. But it gets a little bit complicated with the electro frog ones. But yeah, that's all you have to do really is just put insulated fish plates on those two ends there, and that fixes your problem. There are other ways of doing it. You can buy other types. I use PM2s. PM2s don't have frog switch in them. Other ones do, and I can't remember which ones it is. It's PM1s. But anyway, you've got insulated frog points on yours. So insulated, you have it. Insu frog points. Which look like that. So in your case, you don't need to worry about it. Just connect your points up as normal. Although I would say put insulated fish plates on the ends there anyway, just as a matter of course, just in case you do get any arcing across your frog. Anyway, I hope I've explained that well enough. sometimes I can go off on a tangent sometimes, but I'm trying to keep it as short as possible for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you should do. Oh dear. Yeah, Stuart, just skip forward an hour and then watch it because I think I've just spent the last 25 minutes trying to explain it. Too long. A, B, C. A power, B power, C is Earth. Earth goes to the capacity discharge unit. A and B go to the switch, and then the center pole from the switch goes to your capacity discharge unit on your positive side. That's it. Done. Okay, right. Right, so what have we got in here now? Yeah. And yeah, so we'll definitely be asking questions. I'm definitely hands-on training style. Yeah. Yeah, Stuart, if you're handy enough with a soldering iron, you shouldn't have too many issues. Uh, with these especially, you do need to use a soldering iron on these. Some point switches, you can buy them with the wires already attached to them. I think I've never bought those, so I don't know. But yeah, that's as simple as it gets on that one. Right. Okay. Uh, okay. I have monopolized the chat too much. I should go back to cutting out platforms. Yeah, well, that's something I've got to do on Finton Parkway very soon. So hopefully, very soon, you may see platforms on there. Well, let's see. Okay. Does anybody want to listen to a bit of news? If not, I don't have to, but I've written, there's a few bits and pieces down that's going on in the modelling world if you are interested. Yeah, we're all learning things every single day. I'm learning new things every single day. This, I tell you what, it completely and totally blew my mind when I first tried it. And I just couldn't fathom it at all. And I think I ended up watching Mark Donegal, Dad again. He did a video on these and he explained it extremely well. And that's how I learned how to do it, was by watching one of his videos. There are other people that have done videos as well as, but Donegal Dad, I think Mark, he explained it extremely well. I think he did a video a few years back, I think it was. And yeah, he did a good job of it. And that's how I learned, was from him. So I'm passing on his knowledge to you. There we go. Right, then. So does anyone listen to the news or not? Okay, right. So, anybody else want to ask any questions whatsoever on the layout? Oh, Stuart said yes, news. Oh, good one then, he says. I'll be quick. Okay, right then. Should start getting some jingles, shouldn't I? No, for the news. No, I ain't gonna bother pissing about with that. Sorry to anybody under the age of 13, but hey, you shouldn't be watching this if you are. Right, okay. For those of you who are in the know on these things, because to be kind of honest with you, I'm not. But there is a company called Ellis Clark, I don't know if you heard them or not, but Ellis Clark do specialise in 7mm, 1 foot scale and larger locomotives and rolling stock. They have announced they are going to be making, they are going to be producing Sir Nigel Gresley designed GNR LNER quad art coaches in 00 gauge. For those of you that are not familiar with that, that is a set of 4 coaches, and they have the bogie in between 2 coaches instead of one on each side. And they look something like that. And the bogies, some great detail on those. And yeah, Andy, you are right. Beautifully designed, beautifully detailed, and they look absolutely awesome. They come as a 4-car set, and they are priced at a whopping £325. So I take it, Stuart, you'll be buying those. They will be coming in the range of 10 liveries, from the teak to the BR maroon. Confirmation is still yet to be confirmed. Rapido trains, however, have expanded their tooling suite from the forthcoming GWR V4 and V16 vans to produce a Y4 banana, the Y4 banana vans, arriving early next year at a price of £32.95. Also this month, they have added to their recent announcement the GWR Open vans. This is a bit of a mouthful. With diagram V17, number 35601, a WD Grey 944028, diagram 011, and that is 21110, WD Grey number 943026, and a type 4 S64, and that's it. Right, okay. So they're all different styles of vans with their numbers. Okay. They've also increased the livery offering to 5 more in the Hunslet 16 IN for 16-inch one for the 00 gauge, which also includes Beatrice as preserved. So if anybody fancies a Hunslet from them, they can go and buy one of those. Pattons have announced the return of the manufacturing of its model exclusives, of the Andrew Barclay 040 ST at £85, and the SECR 060T P-Class at £85. They're also going to be reproducing the Wallwell and excuse, I don't know what that says, but I think it's Bellhack snowplows. The Bellhack snowplow, if I've pronounced that correctly, is at £70, and the Wallwell snowplow is at £25. These are all going to be in the second quarter of next year. Bachmann have also added the Bala Lake Railways preserved Alice class Quarry Hunslet 040, a Holy War, to its range, priced at £149.95. The proceeds all go to the Bala Lake Railway, which I thought was quite nice. What else have we got? Oh, if you want to have a look, by the way, that's what it looks like. and that's going to be the 009 range. That one is. What else we got? Acura Scale have acquired the X Hatton's tooling for the Class 66, and they have modified that for the first, and the delivery of those are going to be expected in the first quarter of next month. Hang on a minute, I just accidentally pushed the button somewhere. Oh, Peter Jackson's in the house. Hello, Peter. You've just come into the stream where I'm about to bore you all to death. So they are going to be releasing a new range of Class 66s. Prices start with DCC ready at £169.99 and the DCC sound fitted ones at £59.99. Wow. But if it's coming from your Acura Scale, it's going to be good. What else we got? Cavalex are also going to be producing the Class 56. That is going to be priced at £189.95. And DCC sound fitted ones will be priced at £289.95. So they're all going to be coming in different liveries also, one of which is going to be BR Blue. And that also looks very, very nice. I do like a 56. I should buy one. I think I might buy a 56. And for those of you, Jason, who are interested in this particular make of 00 gauge, you can buy the Coca-Cola Class 121 in the X Lima model tooling, priced at £96.99 if you want to buy one. And they look like that. That's if you want to buy anything from that particular brand, which I don't like very much at all. Yeah. Anyway, that's the end of the news. Very boring. Because I won't be buying any of it because it's just too bloody expensive. But for those of you that can afford it, there you go. Right. Aha! Hello, Mark. How are you? Was your ears burning because I've been talking about you tonight? But all good. Right then. Okay, we've been going now for nearly an hour and 40 minutes. I would like to say, would anybody like to join the chat for a bit? But I need to remember how I do it. Right. Guests. Copy. Copied. Right, so we'll go to the comments. I believe. No, click on that. Click on post. You can hold that. Paste. Did I do it? Yes, I did. See, I can remember how to do that, but I can't remember how to add people as moderators. And if I can remember how to do that, I'll blooming do it. Well, hang on a minute, just out of mad interest. Oh, I remembered. I know how to do it. There we go. I think I'll click on standard. I think that's it. Stuart, you can also do it. There we go. Look, see, I can do it now. I can do it. I think that was it for now. There was a certain person that was in the chat earlier. I'll add him. And where are you? Where are you, Craig? Craig was here earlier, and I think he's disappeared. He got bored of my chatting, probably. Yeah. we will add you as well. And if I can find him, there you are. Add, done. There we go. There we go. So all the people now who come into the chat regularly, I will be adding as moderators. So yes, so if any of you now message and you find you got yourself a spanner, then there you go. Well done, you. Okay. When do you start the scenics? Good question, that. Was the loco bargain you bought at Craven on? Aha. I see. Yeah, you obviously saw my video earlier, didn't you? Right, and Peter, I will show you again because I had other people. But my £5 loco was a class 35 Heineken. And I put it on the truck and it ran first time. So all I'm going to do with this is service it, and then hopefully that'll run even better then. Give it a clean and a service and it'll be absolutely fine. Wow, I'm honoured. Well, Stuart, you're just the same as everybody else. For people that come into the chat regularly, I'm going to add you as a moderator. Okay, right then. I thought it was quite a very good bargain, yeah. Especially the fact that it actually does work. You know, I just found it in a box just full of bits and pieces. The guy who was there was saying he didn't want to take anything away, and he says, make me an offer. So I made him an offer and he accepted it, and I gave him his £5, and that was it. And the only couple of things that I've found that are wrong with this is there's a buffer missing on both ends. The bit the buffer goes into is actually broken at the one side. But if I do find a couple of buffers, I can just super glue them in. And the window is missing out of the one side of the cab. The other one's in, just the other side's missing. So for a couple of buffers and a window, if I can find one, yeah, I think it was a very good bargain at that as well. Yeah, I think they were great bargains. I think they really were. You go towards the end of the show. Get the no, I didn't, Stuart. It was about halfway through the show, I think it was, when I happened across it and bought it. It did have a couple of other locomotives there. It did have steam locomotive. I forgot what its name was now, but that was a mainline one, and I haven't had a great deal of I haven't had some really good stuff out of them. The steam locomotives, especially with the split chassis, they have a tendency for the plastic cogs to break up on them. So I haven't had a lot of luck with those. So I tend not to buy the mainline ones anymore. But I saw this one and I thought, yep, I can get that working. Even if it needs a new motor, I have a spare one. So yeah, I think I did quite well. I think I have some white metal buffers if you want some. Yeah, message me after the chat, Mark. We'll discuss that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very, very much for coming. I'm going to add you as moderator. There we go. Yeah, thanks very much for coming, pal. And hopefully I'll see you very soon. That was Steve, by the way, if anybody didn't know. Right, okay. If anybody wants to join the chat, they can. You know, by all means, you know, come and chat for 5 minutes, and then I think we might actually call it a night after that. Time for my biannual bath. Good night, folks. Andy, thank you very much for joining in, my friend. Yeah, a pleasure as always. Go and enjoy your bath. Right then. Okay. Right then, everybody. Well, I suppose if no one wants to join the chat, then I think we might as well actually call it a night. Yeah, I think we'll call it a night then. So, thank you very much for joining, everybody. It's a pleasure as always. Do forgive me if I've been babbling on too much. I think I might keep the news a little bit shorter next time. It was a bit long-winded, that was, and half of which I didn't know what I was talking about. Peter, I don't know, to be fair, my friend. What I try to do is, if I can, I will probably do the first Saturday of every month. So yeah, so one live stream a month, I think. It all depends on it all depends as to what I'm doing at the time. But yeah, but yeah, if I can, I will try and do every first Saturday of the month at around 6 p.m. So just to refresh everybody, I bought those bargains today at Ludlow Model Railway Show, which was hosted by the Craven Arms Railway Group. All the track is now laid down in the on the layout now. I've also managed to lay down all the track for Finton Parkway behind me. So yeah, everything is all going according to plan right now. The only thing that I've got left to do really now is fit the new turntable that I bought today, the new Pico turntable. That's going to go at the end of Finton Parkway. I don't think I'm going to motorize that one. I may connect it up so it can be operated by hand, but we will see. We will see. But yeah, that's going to go at the end of the layout over there, and hopefully that will be it then, track wise. All I've got left to do now is connect power to the top loop and test that, make sure that's all running okay. Obviously, I need to cut the track at the lift out section at the one end there, which I showed you in last month's live stream. And then once all that's done, point motors need to be fitted, point switches and everything else like that. And that's it. So yeah, thank you very much for joining, everybody. I've actually really enjoyed this week. We've got my £5 loco working, which didn't require anything at all. And yeah, onwards and upwards. So happy modelling, everybody. Thank you very much for joining again tonight. Push the thumbs up button at the end if you wish to. You don't have to if you don't want to. And yeah, I'll see you in another video very soon. And oh, and don't forget, I'm going to be at Shrewsbury Model Show next week. So if anybody can attend that one, come and say hello, because it'll be in the Dave Angel store. Goodbye for now. Happy modelling. Salah.